Today we continue with our laws of Shabbos class. Today's class number 41. Okay, so in the start, so let's wish refuah shleima to all of these people who is sick, and I know like two of the people that are alone on Thursday, so they could not join because they're sick, unfortunately. This COVID, both of them. One had the whole family sick, unfortunately. Okay, so let's see. So continue. So today we continue Sefer Shmiras Lashon, and today's topic is Mitzora isolation. Okay, Mitzora isolation. So let's see. He who slanders his neighbor in secret will he will cut down. It's from Psalms 115. Okay, the Talmud in Arachim 15b interprets the latter half of the verse as refers to terrible affliction of Lashon Tzaras. I'm sorry, Tzaras. Okay, the Talmudic sage Reish Lakish sees the Tzom Mitzora as one who afflicted with Tzaras, as a contracted as the one who slanders. Okay, whoever speaks Lashon Hara will have affliction for Tzaras visited upon him. So that's what he said. So whoever speaks Lashon Hara is going to have this affliction. Okay, so let's see. Oh, somebody's joining. 1 second. Two people admit. Okay. All right. So we're good. So we'll know about Mitzora, I hope. So Mitzora is it's what is because then when we have a temple or even Mishkan in the desert, so whoever would speak Lashon Hara, one of the warning from HaShem that would present upon him this signs of the on his skin, right? And he would need to be isolated for 7 days. Then coin comes and check, and then if something changes, so he's Mitzora. If not, so he would be isolated for another 7 days. So that's Mitzora we're talking about. This indicates the extreme severity of the sin. For the Torah is unusually stringent with regard to the laws of Tumah, ritual impurity, right? As pertaining to Mitzora. In the wilderness, 3 distinct boundaries existed within the Jewish encampment. Each represented a different level of sanctity. From among the various types of ritual impurity, only Mitzora was forbidden to enter into 3 camps. As the Torah states, he shall dwell in isolation. His dwelling shall be outside of the camp. It says in Vayikra 13:46. So let's try to explain. Even though it's not our topic, that's not what they're trying to say. But in a few words, let's explain. So they touch upon the subject of Mitzvah, of the Tumah. So Tumah is a spiritual impurity. So how can you get Tumah? You can get Tumah. We just said, I don't know, like a few weeks ago, from some animals that are like I don't remember what it is, 7 animals I think. So special animals that have a special Tumah that other animals do not possess. Meaning dead animal, not live life, but dead animal. Or a person gets Tumah from touching the corpse of the person. So it's even higher. I think it's higher than those animals, right? And
what are those 7 animals, Rabbi? Sorry.
Say it again.
What are those 7 animals?
I remember some. I think it's one of them is lizard, one of them is snail, and one of them this I don't know this animal that it goes like I don't know what underground makes all of these holes underground. Or a mole I think.
Yeah, right? Mole or a shiru, I think they call it.
Yeah, and some others. So basically, so they have just in few words to explain this concept. It's very interesting. So they would pass Tumah, for example, if you have an earthenware vessel, right, from earthenware, so they would pass Tumah even without touching the vessel itself, right? So all other things they transfer Tumah on when you touch. So for example, if you met somebody who just buried his relative, and he comes from the funeral and he touches you, and he was carrying the coffin, he touched you, so you get it's not the first. I think it depends on circumstances. 2nd and 3rd level of Tumah. like spiritual impurity, right? So okay, so it's one thing. So only by touching, but with these animals and as earthen vessel, even if it does not touch inside of the vessel, but even if it enter the airspace of the vessel, so this vessel become tamei. You understand? So that's this special Torah. Of course, it does not make any sense, does not define logic, but that's the Torah basically. So what they're saying here, and another Tumah comes from this Mitzorah. So basically Mitzorah, he did not touch anybody dead, right? In both of the cases before, we said somebody touched a corpse or a dead animal, one of these animals, whatever. So here is not the case. So basically he spoke bad about his neighbor, about his brother, whatever happened. And he had this spot on his skin, and it started growing, it's white, and there is white hair, black hair, whatever in the middle, and they Cohen examined him, and he said he's Tumah. So basically, we sent this guy. The impurity is so big, we send him out of 3 camps. So in wilderness, we had 3 camps. So one camp is a Kohanim, meaning around the Mishkan, right? That they say from all the sides from Mishkan. The second camp was Levites camp. They were sent around the Levites, and the third camp is Israelites, meaning the rest of the people. So for example, when Levite had to bury somebody, I think he was, if I remember correctly, maybe I think he was able to come back to his Levite camp. Cohen, I'm not sure. I would say I don't remember exactly. I think he would who could not go to his Cohen camp, but at least he could go to Levite camp, right? So Israelite could basically stay in his own camp, even though he's impure, but it does not mean that he has to be isolated. But this Mitzorah guy has to leave all of the camps and stay outside of the camp. So in one sense, it's midah keneged midah. In one sense, so he was trying to do popular, right? This guy will want to be popular. He wants to be to talk to other guys and stuff like that. So now, you want to be popular? So midah keneged midah. Now you're going to be isolated, nobody to talk to. So even if you have 2 mitzvahs, they were not allowed to put them together, to keep company. Otherwise, it's like this guy would never do tshuva, right? So there is a possibility when a person does tshuva, especially he didn't have phone, he didn't have internet, like no books. Basically, he's there in scorpions and snakes, and he's trying to survive. It's not the most pleasant life. So he stayed there for 7 days, 7 nights, no light, like a wild animal. So it's not the most pleasant experience. Let's say there is. So it was a punishment for him that he was wants to be too friendly with other people. So we put them out. So that's what they say. So Tumah is so big, they had to send them out of these 3 camps. So just yeah. Okay, continue. Why was the Mitzorah singled out to live in isolation? Because through his evil speech, he caused husband to be separated from his wife, and the friends to become distant from one another. Arachim 16b. So very simple. So he was Lashon Hara, as we said, the derogatory speech. So he said, actually, you know what? I was coming very late last night, and I saw your wife outside. So why she was like in the middle of the night outside? Maybe it was her, maybe not. Maybe it was cat. Like, how do you know? There is no streets light. But this guy assumed that he was his wife. So now somebody, like his neighbor's wife. So now they have this fight and stuff like that. Separation between husband and wife. That's what he wanted to cause. Now, guess what? We're going to send you out. So exactly. So when you see what punishment people have, so it's exactly midah keneged midah. So when you go to a big rabbi and you say, Rabbi, I have this problem, that problem. So the first thing, they have to see how it's connected to your life. It almost cannot be that it's not connected. Most likely, it connected to this life. Sometimes it connected to previous life, but there is some connection. There is no punishment, no suffering without the sin. HaShem is not torturing somebody for no reason. Okay, so that's why you go to Rabbi. He asks you a question, this question, that question, and by the way of these questions, he can figure out what issue you need to work on. Of course, you have to be honest. Like so sometimes I have this person. He continue ask me question. I answer him, right? And he just withheld the information. I say, why would you do that? I mean, if you wanted to help me, so give me all of the information. This guy, I mean, like I don't know what's going on. So I said, don't ask me. Why should you ask me? I go to somebody that you trust, give them all of the information, get the answer if you care about the answer. You understand? So it's a big issue. Okay, somebody wanted to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a little off topic, but is breaking a netter, like let's say you said, I'm not going to say this or, whatever as a netter, right? When you say what you said you weren't going to say, okay, does it count as Lashon Hara?
Could you please give me an example so I know?
You say, I don't know, I won't talk about politics anymore, right? You make a netter, no more politics. But then you start talking about politics. Did I say Lashon Hara or?
No, it's not Lashon Hara. I mean, if it's not derogative about other people, take it back. So if it's not about Jews, Shomer Shabbos Jews, so it's not Lashon Hara.
Mm-hmm.
It's not recommended. So I would say just say, is it allowed to say derogatory speech about the non-Jews? And I would say just say, no, it's not. I mean, it's not Lashon Hara, but it's not recommended. Why? Because you get into habit to talk about them, and the next time you're going to talk about your rabbi and like whatever he did and how he was whatever. Yeah, you understand? So don't go into these directions. But let's say whatever this politics was Rashaim and stuff like that, it's known. So I mean, what did he achieve? I mean, you understand? But so you broke a nether. So I have this this guy did not join us. Unfortunately, so that's one of my students from another group. So he told me I almost fainted. He told me before the Elul. So what did they do? This 40 days before the Elul, he said they have this custom to annul the vows every Friday. I said, why do we annul the vows every Friday? He said, no, we have this custom to annul the vows every Friday, 40 days before Rosh Hashanah. So people get together in a good mood before Friday night. So I was shocked, like I never heard of this guy, but it does not mean, because I never heard it, that does not mean anything. But I just thought to myself, and I told him the next time, are you normal? Right? This rabbi who is in charge, is he normal? So it means that he encouraged people to make all of the promises, right? So why? Because he knows that Friday comes, and he going to annul all of the promises. I said, you normal? So that's not the Jewish way. I told them it's not Jewish way. The Jewish way, you make promise, you keep it, or do not make promise, right? But annulling the vows, for sure, it's not the proper way. Whatever we do before Rosh Hashanah and before Yom Kippur, whatever we do, it's only about the vows that we did not know. Maybe we forgot and stuff like that. Maybe I didn't mean that this language, specific language, when you say vows, it has to be specific language. That you use specific language, and I didn't know even this language is considered. Even this wording is considered to be nether. I didn't know, and I thought, okay, so for all of this, so there is this special nullification of the law. But every Friday, I said it's not proper. Okay. So, all right. So, did I answer the question, David? Okay. It's a good question. Okay. Why? So I told this guy, what if somebody borrows money from you and say I'm going to pay? And then I'm going to pay in 3 weeks. And then the guy said, I changed my mind. I'm going to pay in 30 years. But I'm going to pay. I didn't say I'm not going to pay. Just the term changed. I mean, do they want somebody to know such a vow? Okay, continue. Why was the Mitzvah singled out to live in isolation? Okay, we said before, because he caused all this issue, because between husband and wife. Rabbi Yashua ben Levi said, why was the Mitzvah singled out to bring 2 birds for purification? That's purification process. Said the Holy One, blessed is he, his sin was one of the sinful chapter. Therefore, let him bring an offering in a chirping birds. Okay, so he likes to talk a lot of nonsenses, and he create all these issues for himself, for other people. So now he brings these birds and remind him not to chatter. So I remember like many years ago when this Twitter just came out, and I thought it's like it's forbidden for Jews to join. That's that's exactly what it says. These two birds, Lashon Hara. Okay,
I have a question.
please.
Where in the HaBRIT book does it say that you can't say Lashon Hara towards Shomer Shabbat people? Like, do you know which book?
Do I know which way? It's actually Hafetz Chaim. It's Sefer Shmiras Lashon. It's in one of the halachas. So I don't remember exactly. But so basically, so the law is just in general, because you guys join like in the middle. So just in general, right? So you're not allowed to talk badly. It's in general or even suspect a kosher Jew. It's not only Lashon Hara. So if he comes, for example, to the shul and downs together with you, and you see him every Shabbos and stuff like that, and you see his wife outside, and she's modest, and you know the kids in yeshiva and stuff like that. So you're not allowed to suspect that they don't have a kosher house. So basically, when you come to their house, you're allowed to eat. You can ask questions, for example, where do you buy your meat and stuff like this, and is it cheese halal Israel or not? I prefer to do all the investigation before I come to their house. You know, it's stupid to come and ask, and then this chicken, you know, wow. You know, so don't put yourself in that situation. But otherwise, if you know that he's kosher person, you must accept that he's kosher in everything, unless proof otherwise. So it's not only about Lashon Hara, but other things.
Thank you.
But opposite is also true. If you know that he's not Shomer Shabbos, so you're allowed to suspect him with anything else. So who did it? This guy did it. Because why the one who is not Shomer Shabbos, he's like idolater, and idolater can do anything. It says clearly that you're not allowed to be in a closed room with idolater. And we learned with David, he actually brought it up one time that you're not supposed to take a haircut. So if there is haircut, he will go to the barber, non-Jewish barber, and he has this razor, right? They shave your neck, right? So and there are not too many people in the shop, so you're not allowed to sit there, unless you have a big mirror, so you can see what he's doing, like behind you. Otherwise, it says he can kill you. So Ruach Shtus is going to enter his mind, and he said, "This is Jew that I hate for past 45 years of my life, and now I have this opportunity. Nobody's going to know." You understand? So needless to say, in this, if we compare this non-Shomer Shabbos people to this idolater, so we can suspect him.
Yeah.
Understand? All right.
Thank you.
So,
I have a question. So when it comes to the whole concept of Mechalel Shabbat, you don't trust. Does it apply to? I have two questions now on this. So does it apply to people who are really Mechalel Shabbat Mefaresia, like and things like that, or is it also apply to people who are privately not keeping Shabbat? Number one. And also, what about the people who don't study Hilchot Shabbat, like at all? And I'm not saying people who are trying their best, but they don't study Hilchot Shabbat. They say, "Yeah, I keep Shabbat," but it says very clearly, if you don't study Hilchot Shabbat, you're probably violating Shabbat.
no, not problem. Definitely, 100%. 100%. You will. So okay. So let me start maybe with the second question, because it's easier. So if he's trying and he keeps everything that he knows, so we consider him Shomer Shabbat. Is he's going to be responsible in Shamayim, which is not our business. It's not our business to judge him. So he's going to be responsible for everything that he did not learn. Why is that? The answer is very simple. He had time, but he was watching basketball. He had time, but he decided to go to go to visit his relatives. Like I had this conversation today. This person never going to watch our lecture, so I can say it. So he said that there is family. So we learn in different topics, right? So he said that I have a family member. I come to them. I can stay the whole day, and they would not offer me coffee or a cup of water. So I said, why would you come to somebody's house for the whole day? I mean, what is it? What are you doing there in somebody else's house? I said, when I come to somebody else's house, I came for 1 hour, 20 minutes, 40 minutes. I mean, if you're not learning, so that's it. I mean, what business do I have in somebody else's house? You understand? He said, no, but when you visit the relatives, you didn't see your uncle, you didn't see your cousin, stuff like that. So in his culture, it's normal. It's normal to come to somebody's house just because you haven't seen him with them, and you hang for a very long time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you understand? So this he could have used this time to learn with us. I invited many people, just so you know, to our group, right? And I gave them clips and stuff like that. So he does not know 1% where we learn. Unfortunately, very, very fortunate, right? So he would be judged. It's not our business, but so you know, he would be judged for all of the wasted time to go to visit these relatives who I told them, like, if they don't offer you coffee for 5 hours, maybe they don't want you there. Maybe you should get the message, just say hello, just pack up and leave. What are you doing there, right? So for all of the wasted time, you're going to be charged. Why you didn't learn the Hilchos Shabbos? What did it stop you? You understand? For all of these games that people go, for all of these relatives that I hear guys, no, Rabbi, I cannot come to class. I'm going to the wedding. I said, but you know that you told me that part of the family is not absorbed. They're going to be naked ladies. So what are you going to get from them? Right? Why are you going there? Why are you putting? No, but this I cannot. It's my fourth cousin, seventh cousin. You understand? So he canceled this class. Whatever. I mean, he canceled the class. Goes to acquire all of these averas under the sun. You understand? And he did not learn. So when the next time comes, he's going to be responsible because it's free choice. He chose to go to see the naked ladies. Of course, he said, I will try not to look, but okay. You can tell me whatever you want. It's not, I mean, I'm not judging. I'm just saying what is going to be. What is going to be. You understand? So basically, once I let me finish with this point. So basically, they are responsible. So it's a second question of Vishai. So they're responsible for everything that they did not learn. But we consider to them kosher Jews. So it's some kind of contradiction. And we allow, there's another leniency that I have to mention, because I think it's very important. If they cook food and they say it is kosher, so we believe them it's kosher. I mean, I apologize, meaning that he cooked in your kitchen, right? And with your utensil, and there is you have the milk refrigerator, I don't know, in another room, so he did not do anything. So we believe if he said it's kosher, we believe him that everything is kosher. Understand? So that's a leniency. That was question, David?
Yes. So what if you hand him, like, I don't know, Hilchos Shabbos book and, like, tell him to read it 10 times, but he says no? Does he count as, like, intentional Mechalel Shabbat now or no?
So okay, he's intentional. See, even without it.
So I can say Lashon Hara about him, let's say, as an example. Do the halachas apply?
Even see, it's not so. We can say Lashon Hara. We didn't get to this in this book, but even Lashon Hara, you can say it only for constructive purpose. So what is a constructive purpose? So he did not. Okay, I mean, as I said, it's between him and HaShem. We just trying to bring him closer. So I ask people, like, all of these things that we learn. I said, okay, can you dust your jacket if it's very dusty? He said, I don't know, you tell me. I said, why should I tell you? I tell other people, so let's join our class. So I'll join. So I sent three reminders, and the guy did not join. And you understand? So I do exactly what you, David, do. I mean, that's our obligation, to bring them closer, to show them that they do not to put them down, but to ask the question. It's a simple question. It's a very, very like practical question. Can you dust or not? Understand? Ishai, could you remind me this first
Point.
question? Apologize. I mean,
Oh, the first question? No, it was just that it's similar. So the first question really was, if a person violates Shabbat, for sure, violates Shabbat in private. But is there a way to really know? Or maybe one person
or privately?
Yeah, privately. Not that mefaresia, not that 10 people know that he violates.
So
What about a person like that? Can you say Lashon Hara?
We don't say. First of all, if it's whatever he does, we're not sure 100%. So there were no witnesses. So you cannot say Lashon Hara about him. Even with witnesses, like again, when we say Lashon Hara, it must be for constructive purpose. It must be for the best of that people, well, that person. It cannot be that you holding grudge against him. You're trying to do like a revenge. He did whatever to you. I don't know. Took your parking spot 5 years ago. So now you're trying to get back at him and say Lashon Hara. It's not going to work. So every time we say Lashon Hara, it's either of two cases. Like you're trying to help him, right? You're trying to help him, or the first case, and second case, you're trying to prevent damage. So you know that he's a crook, and he's about to go into the business with your friend, with your classmate. So you're allowed to go to your classmate and say, you know what, David, you know what, this guy that I heard that you're about to go in the business, open the store, check this guy. I know from my cousin this and that. I'm not. It's second-hand information, but you must check. So in this warning, or somebody trying to get married, and you know, and you live across the street from this guy, and you know that the cops come there, I don't know, three times a month, right, to pick him up. Something is wrong. So you are in this case, you are obligated to warn this lady not to get. I mean, you're obligated to warn her. It's so it's for constructive purpose to prevent the damage. But otherwise, just to speak because you allowed it, it's absolutely not allowed.
Rabbi, question in my case, but like you can pay him. Like he's considered a guy though, right? And in the situation that I gave, or no?
Could you remind me of the situation?
Well, you give him, you tried to give him a halacha book on Shabbat and Tad.
He's not. No, he's not considered. No, I mean if he does it like out like in everybody's face and like he's smoking when everybody's going in from the shul, so it would be like a brazen act. But whatever he does in his hidden room and he does not want more, we don't consider him a goy. No.
Again, it says dino kegoy, you know, like if he does shuvah, he comes back. He doesn't have to go through a whole conversion.
No, but it's for everybody. Of course, he can do shuvah in 1 second. Everything is going to change. It's B'ezrat Hashem. It's in our Rambam's class. I think it's the next book that we're going to learn about Hilchos Teshuva. It's my favorite. But just
on that note, Rabbi, I wanted to share.
Yeah.
No, sorry, please go ahead. Yeah, I just want.
So try not to talk bad about other people unless you're trying to help. So there is a case, somebody asked my help to help somebody, to talk to him. So I asked him all of this question, and I told him before we start, I said that I'm asking you questions because you asked me to help this person. I need to know more information. So even though it is negative, we're trying to help him. So that's allowed. But for me, just to ask information about this guy, what he does without without my will to help him, it's absolutely forbidden. Absolutely forbidden.
Yeah. We just wanted to add something from Sharet Shuvah that I had read recently. I mean, there's the traditional categories of Lashon Hara, but these will really surprise. So this is the fourth category, which says Abak Lashon Hara. That does Lashon Hara, right? Yes. Our sages said in Masechet Bava Batra 165a, the majority of people succumb to theft, minority to Gilu Arot, and everyone to Avak Lashon Hara. They explain that Avak Lashon Hara entails a person saying something that causes others to speak Lashon Hara. So what does it say? In our Masechet Arachin 16a, one should never say positive things about another person, for the positive things said about him lead to disparaging things being said about him. So unnecessarily praising somebody. And it says that we must explain this passage. It is known that speaking praises of a sages and tzaddikim is beautiful, right? Because everybody knows that they are known and there's no fault in them, even if But they also said that a fool does not speak the praises of the world. But the meaning of the matter is one should say positive things about another person only one-on-one, like man speaking to his friend, and not public where many people are congregated, until it becomes clear to him in his place that there is no one who possesses hate or jealousy for the person he will speak about positively. However, if he wants to praise a person who has already been publicly accepted and acknowledged as a tzaddik, an upright person, a yashar, and within him no evil or guilt can be found, he can then praise him for even in the presence of one who hates him or who is jealous of him, or he will not be able to disparage him, and this was just something,
It's actually so Chafetz Chaim, what he did, his great wisdom, he went through all of these books and he collected all of these things and he made into one book. Okay, so let's try to continue. So we learned lots of Shabbos in volume 1 on page, if somebody found 191. Okay, so we continue with the same melacha laundry, right? So let me quickly read the summary, a few lines from the last time. We remind what we said to bring up to the speed people who were not there last time. So it says, it is prohibited to hang wet clothing in the area normally used for hanging laundry. However, this is permitted in clothing and crumple or visibly dirty. According to some poskim, this prohibition does not pertain to the clothing that are normally dry clean. So let's explain. So basically, if even you got wet under the rain and stuff like that, and if you put your shirt to dry outside in normal fashion, so people on looker might think that you just made the laundry. I mean, how do they know? So yesterday they were passing by Friday night, it was clean, your porch were empty and nothing was there. They coming back Shabbos morning, there is short to hang. Guess what? This guy made the laundry, did laundry before the davening. That's what they suspect, unfortunately, right? But that's why it's not allowed to hang it if it's wet in a normal way. So in a crumble way, they say there is no problem. Or as this opinion state, something that's usually dry clean, and he put on to dry. So for sure it's not. He did not wash it because it would ruin completely. Okay, so continue. It is prohibited to place a wet fabric in an area where they might be heated to the scalding temperature. Okay, so we were talking about the prohibition of this milach is cooking. So cooking meaning we said the temperature is yatz ledas bo, and we said it's 110 degrees Fahrenheit. I think Ethan told us it's approximately 40 something in Celsius, right? So meaning that the yatz ledas bo when hand recoils, you touch something like something on your stove and it's very hot. The hand recoils, even though it's not boiling temperature, much less temperature, but it's already temperature that is capable of cooking. So if you put your wet shirt, or your wet towel, let's say, right, next to the stove, next to something like next to your radiator, so even though it's not going to get this hot in 1 second, but potentially it can get hot. So that's it. So it's already prohibition of cooking. Okay, so continue. Next one, it is prohibited to wipe mud on a clean towel, right? So if you have a nice clean towel, you have mud on your shoes, and we say if you're going to wipe it and it's fresh mud, so you think if I rinse it in 2 seconds before it settles, so it's going to be clean towel. So they say, you know what, don't do it. Then next one, we said it is prohibited to cover bucket of water with cloth unless the cloth is designated for this purpose. Okay, we said it's for all the days. That's I'm going to skip it. The next one, it is prohibited to walk near the body of water when there is a danger in falling in. So basically, if there is a danger that I don't know, maybe next to a pool, like after the rain, so it's slippery there, somebody can slip up and fall in the water, or somebody is taking a walk. Okay, so that would be forbidden. Okay, so now it's very interesting part. So I love this book because he gives practical examples, right? So we are on section number 6, and it says practical applications. A. removing dust from the dirt, removing dust or dirt from carpet. So carpet, of course, it's absorbent material, so it's under the prohibition of laundry. So let's see. A carpet is subject to prohibition of laundry since it is made of fabric. We will set forth the rules outlined earlier in this chapter as they pertain to carpet. Number 1, crumbs and other foods particles fall on the carpet and come to the rest on top of it, but not embedded between the fibers, are permitted to remove them. Okay, so it's very simple rule. So, for example, you have kids and they were eating the cereal, right? And some cereal fell on the carpet. So basically, you can pick up the cereals and throw out. That there is no problem. All right. So because it didn't get embedded, that's the key word. Continue. Number 2. If a small amount of dust or dirt became embedded between the fibers, but it does not significantly mar the appearance of the carpet, one is permitted to sweep it up. Sweep it out. Sorry. See below concerning the use of the carpet sweeper. So when we say carpet sweeper, it's not electric. Electric, of course, forbidden, but we talk about this manual thing. Okay. So one more time, if it did not get embedded, so it's same we said as about the jacket, right? So you have the stain. It's not that dirty. It's not that dirty that I would go to the shul in this, but I would prefer it would be a little cleaner. So I can do it with a hand, but with a cloth, but very gently. Okay, that's exactly what it says here. Okay, continue. It is generally presumable that the carpet, which was a vacuum before showers, will not become significantly dirty over the course of showers. Okay, so I mean, if you don't have small kids, so yeah, the statement is true. All right, so if it was clean, so even if it's so basically what the author is trying to say, so basically in most of the cases you would be allowed to sweep. That's what he's trying to say, I guess. Thus, it is generally permitted to sweep dirt out of the carpet. So if it did not get like mamash embedded. However, if the carpet does not become significantly dirty, does become significantly dirty. For example, one had kiddush in his house, and many crumbs fell into the carpet. It is forbidden to sweep out the dirt. Okay, but when it's too dirty, so as we said before, it's like it's absolutely forbidden. Same with garments, right? One may only leave the crumbs that are on the top of the carpet and large pieces that are not blended among the fibers. If a Gentile is available, the Gentile may ask to sweep up all dirt. So basically what we're saying here, so I'm just trying to connect to our different class of Hilchot Diot. So it says do not eat in public. Right, and many people, like when they do the kiddush, they acted like in shul in all this environment. They acted differently from what they acted in the way they behave at home. Right? If he would start crumbling this bread around his carpet, his wife is going to slap him 3 times, I guess. Right? So but he would not do it at home. But in somebody else's home, in the shul, there is no problem. That's a big problem. So maybe I guess that's one of the reasons the Rambam said don't go to these places. Continue. Number 3, it is forbidden in all circumstances to pour water on the carpet to remove the stain or prevent the stain from setting. So that's it's as we said, it's soaking. For sure, it is forbidden. Okay. Furthermore, one may not ask Gentile to pour water on the carpet. So water, it's as we said, the soaking. It's a biblical prohibition. So and whatever we are not allowed to do, we're not allowed to ask non-Jews to do it for us. That's the rule. Okay. So continue, but in the previous case when there were like crumbs, of course crumbs are not dirt, so they not stick to the carpet. So in that case, we were allowed to ask non-Jew to do that for us.
Wait, question. Let's say you spilled some water on the floor, and
what
you don't
floor?
want. Yeah.
No, what floor? What floor? Like hardwood floor?
Hardwood floor.
Okay.
Okay. And actually, we'll use a better one. You spilled wine on the hardwood floor, and you're not allowed to use, let's say, a shirt, right? Because it might be dying, correct? So, are you allowed to? It might be soaking as well. No, so
Could you you broke up. Could you say it again? So you're not. The last thing I heard, you're not allowed to use the short. Correct. Could you continue from that?
correct. You're not allowed to use it because of dying, but are you allowed to use it because of soaking?
Yes, because soaking and dying, because it's an article of clothing.
Ah,
So
okay.
we said, so it's two issues. So that doesn't matter. It's you spill the seltzer, right? Or you spill the wine. I mean, with wine 2 prohibitions, with the seltzer only 1 prohibition.
Okay, so then this is my question. Let's say you spilled seltzer on the floor, and I don't know, you wanted to find some leniency, and so you want to use a piece of bread to like clean it up like a sponge. Does that count as soaking or no?
But you use a piece of what?
Bread. You can use a piece
Bread. It's going to be a sponge. Wow.
Kind of Zul, you're sort of, you shouldn't be, you're kind of, especially on Shabbat, you're kind of making a mockery out of the bread.
Yes, I mean, okay, all right, but okay, so you're right, Shem. What we said?
What does it go against this malacha? That's the question.
I think okay, so he's the way I remember, it does not go against this melacha. It does not, because that's not how you usually use bread. And some people, I saw this. For me, it's one of the things that Rambam said it's disgusting. So for me, it's disgusting. So some people would. I don't go to this place. It's from my previous life, right? So then they would take it, and in the shul, like everybody's there. So he would have a cup of wine and break piece of bread and soak the bread into the wine and then eat it. I say, you normal? You understand? And sometimes these crumbs would fall into this cup, and this cup with this bread, like all of the mushi, it looks disgusting. You understand? But they say there is no problem if you don't squeeze the bread. So if you hold the bread for this for the dry part, and you soak partially, you can eat it. There is no problem. So I would say, as the Shai said, it's not proper. It's disrespect to the challah, and it's in another issue. There is that we have baltashlis. Baltashlis do not waste. So there is a second. So there are many issues, but with this halacha, with laundry, there is no issues because nobody does.
Yeah.
Since we're on the bread, I want to ask you one more question. So on Shabbos, I know that people pass the bread, correct? They throw it, to someone else's plate, correct?
No, it's so much. It's so disgusting what people do. It's okay. So let me give you a little background so you understand what's going on. All right. So it says you're not allowed on Shabbat in general to give somebody bread in the hand. Why? Why is that? Because when somebody lo aleinu, lo lechem, not about us, not on us, not on our family. When somebody passes away, and this person, Chas v'shalom, he sits shiva for his brother, sister, whatever, his mother, his grandmother, whatever, not grandma. Okay, his close relatives that he must sit shiva for. So he's not there. He does not understand. He just lost his mother. You understand? Maybe he's 70 years old himself. Does not matter. He's mourning for his mother. So he does not understand. So we put bread in his hand and say, "Eat, please eat. You must eat. You're grieving, but you must eat." So basically, because he does not understand that he must eat. You understand? So he's grieving so much. So in this case, people come. You come to the shiva call. Somebody has passed away. You go. It's proper to go there, and you bring him some food because he cannot cook himself. Of course, if he has wife, or he has mother, he has these the relatives, they can cook. But it's not your problem. You bring him something that he can eat. You understand? So the concept putting bread in somebody's hand. So for people, it's associated with the shiva. So they say do not put the bread in somebody's hands. But what we do in our house? So we cut the bread. I cut the bread. We put it in a nice, beautiful plate, and we pass it around. So I give him the whole plate or her, right? So for example, my mother sits on the left, right? So she takes piece of bread and she passes it around the table. No throwing is necessary. You understand? It's disrespect for the bread. Understand? So that's what people do. It's very not proper.
Yeah.
And some of them do not even know what they do in this. Why does she have to throw the bread? To throw a herring next time or a salad, right? So why throw bread? Okay, go ahead.
The reason I have the question is because number one, nowadays it's like it's a HaShem Sefer says it's a mitzvah to throw the bread sometimes even big.
I don't know. We have to look at it. Okay,
I heard this from people at Rabbi 20-30 years at Kollel, Lipfish Kollel. It's not like some people off the street.
Because so we have to see the context. So sometimes maybe he said that, but we have to see the context when he said that.
So this is the reason I ask, because the Gemara in Brachos says that specifically that you're not allowed to throw bread at all. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now he told me correct. You're not allowed to throw the bread, but you're allowed to pass the bread to someone else's plate.
Yes.
So, but I'm not sure. Passing is allowed, because from what I see from the Gemara,
passing is allowed if you put it in his plate, right? Somebody sitting next to it. You can put it in his plate. You can put it next to the plate. But it's always like civilized things, how to do things. As I told you, I cut the bread, put it in a plate, and pass it around the table. You take whatever you want.
Because
you don't need to throw. So why throw it like next to him? Throw it into his face. How would he like it?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So throwing is disrespect. Okay, so let's try to continue.
Understand.
All right, let's try to continue. All right. So the moist. So we finished with carpet. Moist food or dirt? No. We continue with the carpet issues. Okay, moist food or dirt. Okay. If most food item, for example, mashed potato, fell on carpet and adhere to it, the following rules apply. So we're interested, right? Mashed potato. Number one, when the dirt is so noticeable that it spoils the appearance of the carpet, there is one is embarrassed by it, right? And it can be removed without leaving behind a stain. One may not peel or scratch it off. Okay. However, one may ask Gentile to remove it. Okay, so basically, if you can remove it completely, it is forbidden. So that's exactly the same as we said about the short. You are eating salad, right? And you have this tomato jump on your short suddenly from your fork. So you're allowed to remove tomato, but you're not allowed to wipe out this salad dressing. Right? That's what they say. So if it's going to remove completely, not allowed. Number two, when the dirt will leave behind a stain, one is permitted to peel or scratch over the item. Okay, so that's a different thing, as we said. Okay, number three, when the dirt is not very noticeable, one may peel or scratch it off if it will not leave behind the stain. Okay, but it's one more time, when the dirt is not very noticeable. Okay, I don't know what is like some kind of food. One may peel or scratch it off, of course, in not in direct manner, if it will not leave behind the stain. Okay, number four. In all circumstances, one may not rub a carpet vigorously. So that's, as we said, this dusting. Vigorously, absolutely not. Or with a brush to remove the dirt. But men merely brush lightly with a handle cloth. So if you can pick it up with cloth, whatever you do, so and it's not too dirty, so you're allowed to do that. When necessary, however, one may instruct a Gentile to rub a brush out dirt. Okay, so if needed. Okay, so continue number five, situation number five. The preceding pertains to the food item, such as mashed potato, that was previously ground up. If something that was never ground up, for example, mud cakes on a carpet, mud caked on the carpet, so like a cake, I don't know, piece of mud that just dried there. It is forbidden to scrape it off due to the prohibition of grinding. It is permissible, however, to have Gentile to scrape it off. So basically, I mean, if it's dry, it's same as we said about the shoes. Stuff like that. Just 1 second, sorry. Okay. All right, so next one, the carpet sweepers. Many authorities prohibit the use of carpet sweepers on Shabbos for the various reasons. Some say that since carpet sweeper cleans highly effectively, okay, its use falls under the prohibition of laundry. So because we said laundry, it means that it's going to be clean. It was dirty, becomes clean. Other points out that the carpet sweepers tend to pull out some fibers from the carpet, which is violation of the law of tearing. Yet others state that using carpet sweeper is forbidden because they're considered to be weekday activity. Avodah the whole. Okay, so right. So let's say I never saw this carpet sweepers, so I'm just like.
Before we get.
Say it again. What is it?
Nothing. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so we have this carpet sweeper. I like the way I understand there is a wheels. They when you push it, so there is some brushes that like to turn like in the regular what is it, vacuum cleaner, I guess, but without any batteries, without everything. So they say that the prohibition that they might pull the fibers. So fibers, what does it mean? So we're not allowed to cut things on Shabbos, right? We're going to learn about separate melacha, right? Tearing, you're not allowed to tearing. So same way as we said, you're not allowed to tear, for example, the toilet paper. So this toilet paper, so if you did not prepare before Shabbos, two prohibition, two issues. One issue is if you tear on perforation, it's a cutting to the measurement. It's one thing. And the second, you tear, you're not allowed to tear, right? So okay. So same with these fibers that they can tear. Others say that because it could be a weekday activity. So that's the other thing, that's a big concept that is forbidden on Shabbat. So why? Like for example, are you allowed to exercise? So you like to walk, for example, you like to walk, right? So it depends. So if you say I had a big meal and I want to walk a little, so because it's not healthy to sit down, so it is absolutely forbidden. So it's like weekday activity. But if you say it's beautiful outside and the fresh air and stuff like that, I want to go out with my wife, with my friends, this and that. So this would be allowed because it's for covered Shabbos. But otherwise, it's weekday activity. All of these games, all of this basketball, all of these other things, they fall under this prohibition. In conclusion, one should not use carpet sweeper on Shabbos, but may use broom to clean dirt out of the carpet under the guidelines set forth above. So maybe not forcefully if it's not very dirty and stuff like that. And it's okay. It is permitted, however, to instruct Gentile to use the carpet sweeper on Shabbos. So okay. So next one, B. It was A. B. Removing dust from the garment or hats. Okay, so we actually talk about it. So if it's very dirty that you wouldn't be embarrassed to go out, it's forbidden, basically. If it's significantly dirty, and we said that, so but you would not be prevented from going out. So I say you can use the hand, you can use the dry cloth, but never ever these brushes or special instruments, basically. Okay. So next one, C, cleaning spilled liquids. If liquid spilled on the tablecloth, one may not wring it out. Okay, you cannot wring it out. For discussion of the circumstances in which one may blot out the liquid, with towels or fabric, see page 182. So basically, what we said there, and conclusion we drew just the bottom line. So the best is to have this disposable napkins, disposable towels. If you have some the paper towels, if you have some rugs that you use, there is no problem. So just make sure that you're not never going to squeeze it. And of course, it's not allowed to use sponges under any circumstances because, as we said before, it's a muktzah because for sure you're going to squeeze it out. Okay, continue. D, soaking dory garments. Okay, it is forbidden to soak any dory fabric in liquid. Right? This applies only to absorbent fabrics, but not to the leather, plastic, or rubber. basically, right? So meaning if you want to like wash a stain or whatever from your raincoat, it would be permitted basically if it's not absorbent. If dirty washcloth or a sponge is in a sink, it is forbidden to turn the water, since the fabric will thereby be saturated with water. So that's the problem. I just thought about it. It's very practical. So before Shabbos, you are running around, washing the dishes, whatever you are prepared for Shabbos, and somehow you left the sponge on the bottom of your sink. So now basically this is for sure, if you open the water, the sponge is going to get wet, not allowed. So what do? You use other sink if it's available. If it's not available, there are other like solutions to this problem. But just be careful. Sponge never allowed. Try to make sure there is like set away for Shabbos, so you're not going to attempt to take it. Okay. E, making wet compress. It is preferable not to make a compress on Shabbos by saturating the piece of cloth in the water. If one is ill before Shabbos and knows that he will need the wet compress, he should prepare before Shabbos. So if you know, I mean, today, I'm not sure how often they use it, and maybe they start with some medicine. I'm not sure like what they do, like put it on his hand, or maybe he has like an issue with his hand, so put it on different parts of the body. That's what wet compress is used for. If necessary for compress to develop on Shabbos, one of the following procedures should be used. So I'm not sure. So basically, it should be some reaction. So you have to mix some whatever medicine with water, without water, and it's going to get into reaction, right? So
I think in the case of the compress, I'm just thinking about this, Rabbi. I mean, pikuach nefesh is a different story, right? But think about it. Whenever we have questions of refuah on Shabbat, I think I heard this from one of the rabbis I was learning over here. It says that with refuah, the problem is really that whenever you take a medicine just for the sake of it, that the melacha was that you might come to grind some herbs in order to make more, right? That's the original way of doing the melacha for that. So when it comes to this specifically compress, if you're using it, and the person will feel, okay, maybe I need to wring it and then use it again.
Exactly. So it's too much water.
Yeah.
It's too much water, too much liquid. Now
doesn't matter if it's prepared before or after Shabbat. I think this will be a major issue for somebody using a compress.
That's exactly. So okay. So just to add to what you said. So basically, as you know, by now I understand. So I introduced big picture, big ideas, but we're going to delve into them later on, right? So there is three category of people, sick people on Shabbat. So the first category is when the life is in danger. So you're not only allowed, you're obligated to do whatever you need to save the person's life. And they say, so halacha is, even if it's questionable, you are not a doctor, you're not a specialist, you don't know that it's dangerous, not that, but if you have suspicion that this guy have a heart attack, or whatever, that he has some internal issue, and you're not sure, so you're obligated to treat it as pikuach nefesh, especially internal. You call the doctor, you drive him to the hospital, you do everything that's necessary. Okay, that's first category. That's well, everybody familiar with that. Second category is a category of the is a person whose life is not in danger. So this would be a person who needs to take to bed. So he has a fever. Okay, he has a fever, he has a cough, he has I don't know, his leg hurts, this and that, or his leg is broken, hand is broken, whatever the situation is. He's not going to die, but he's in a serious condition. He does not need to go to the hospital. Basically, this is second category. And third category is a person with localized illness. So what is it? He has a minor headache, right? He has a minor, I don't know, some cut. He has a cut, so it itches, it bothers him, but it's not minor. So in this case, in the first category, you're not allowed to take any medicine. because as you said, it's going to be lack of grind. In the second category, you're allowed to take the medicine, right? And in the second category, I'm giving you the just highlights. We're going to back to it in details. So you're even allowed to ask Gentile to do biblical melacha for him. So in the second category, you're allowed to ask the non-Jew to cook soup for him. So there is your brother, your sister, whatever, your mother had a high fever, so you're allowed to ask non-Jew to cook a hot soup or chicken soup, whatever soup, so she can eat, he can eat, and feel a little better. You understand? So in this case, and plus you're allowed to give him medicine, and you're allowed to ask non-Jew to go to the store and buy the medicine. Understand? So okay, so it's just a summary, but we're going to learn it with HaShem. Okay, so continue. So we're talking about this compress, right? So let me quickly read one more time. If necessary, for a compress to develop on Shabbos, one of the following procedures should be used. Okay, number one should soak the cloth in a colored liquid, for example, apple juice. Note that one should not color water for this purpose on Shabbos. Okay, so let's try to understand what it says. So we said that we're not allowed to color, but we said, I don't remember who asked, but we said the coloring concept does not apply to foods. So if you I don't remember who asked, if you put coffee, right? So you put coffee and then you add the hot water, I'm not saying, but it's not, it does not consider like you color the water. It's not. The food does not apply. But in this case, they're not going to eat. You're going to use it as a compress. So it's a different issue, right? So continue. So one more time. One should soak the cloth in color liquid, for example, apple juice. Note that one may not color water for this purpose on Shabbos. So, okay, water you cannot color, but this thing you can color. Because it's not, in this case, it's for a constructive purpose, basically. Number two, if this is not possible, one should spill water on the floor and make it slightly doughy, and then use for the compress. So basically, so he's taking this, I don't know, maybe it's disposable thing, right? And he's trying, so he spilled this water, and he put this I don't know, piece of cloth on top of the stain, so to absorb this water, this, I don't know, this medicine, whatever you need, and you can use it. It's a little dirty, but still practical. Number three, if it is it's not feasible, one may use clear water for the compress. So I'm not sure. I mean, they don't give details like the way I understand it should be like some dry substance, and it should go into some reaction with water. That's my understanding. Okay, that's why you need to add this water to this compress. That's my understanding. Okay, F, cleaning shoes. It is permitted to dust off leather shoes with a rag or towel. If it is also permitted to dust off, meaning so that the dust, as we understand, it's not absorbed. So okay, so it's on top. So they was standing around for I don't know, for the whole week, so you can dust around a little. With a rag or towel. So never with a brush. With brush, different issue. Okay. If it is also permitted to pour water on leather shoes, but one must, it's like I'm almost done, ensure that only the leather become wet and stitching remains dry. So as we said, the stitches are made of some absorbent material. So basically, you're going to soak stitches, as we said when we were learning the subject. That's the problem. Continue. It is forbidden, of course, to pour water on shoes made of absorbent fabric, like you have this, I don't know, from fabric, fabric shoes, of course. You're not allowed.
Tennis shoes are the best example.
Tennis shoes, right? Yeah. Well, I'm not sure why would somebody have tennis shoes on Shabbat, but that's a separate issue. With respect to removing the dust and the dirt, and all the rules outlined above concerning absorbent fabric pertains to the shoes as well. So it doesn't matter. It's your carpet, your jacket, or your shoes. That's exactly the same thing. Okay. If shoes become muddy, it is permitted to remove the mud while it's moist with a rag or paper towel. Okay. but not with the ordinary towel, because we said that he might be tempted to wash it quickly. Okay. Even when using the rag, one is permitted only to rub gently. So vigorously never allowed, as we said before, but not vigorously. Okay. If the mud dried, one is forbidden to remove it due to the prohibition of grinding. So this grinding is pertains to the mud, right, and to all other things that grow from the ground, making salad and the medicine. So you can see how big the scope of the prohibition. So the last one is polishing shoes. It is forbidden to polish shoes with any type of polish, right, on Shabbos. Furthermore, the prohibition of rebrush shoes that were polished before Shabbos. So what is the problem with polishing shoes? It's not about cleaning. The problem with polishing shoes is that you smooth it out. You make it smooth, right? That's what they were doing in the Mishkan with the skins of the animals, takashima. Now the animal, they would remove the hair and make it look nice, flat and smooth. So that's why we're not allowed to do that. Okay, and that's why we're not allowed to use cream, basically. On Shabbos, you're not allowed to use cream. At least most of the creams you're not allowed to use because of this. Okay, so we can stop here. Any questions? Okay, please.
So first question is, how long after going are you allowed to say Asher Yotzer?
It's a good question. So let's try to understand. So Asher Yotzer, we say after visiting of the bathroom. So in some cases, for example, a person did not have a text of Asher Yotzer, he does not remember like by heart. Or for example, there is different issue. Other people standing around, so you cannot say for whatever reason. But okay, so in this situation, so you're allowed to say until the next time you have the urge to go to the bathroom for the same business. So if you went to the bathroom number one, and for the next hour you don't want to go to the bathroom, you'll be fine, no urge. So you can say it for 1 hour during that hour. But once you feel the next urge to go to the bathroom, even though you know that you can hold for half an hour, you cannot say it. So it depends. I would say it depends on the individual. If you drink, I don't know, a gallon of water or a tea or whatever you drink, because you were dehydrated and you need to drink more, whatever. So you might have the urge at 7 minutes later, 5 minutes later. So it depends.
And also, so we know that the Rishayim get paid in this world, correct? So let's say, I don't know, they did the mitzvah of tzitzis like once, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. But let's say they did Teshuva. So in Olam Haba, do they get that mitzvah of tzitzis or no? Or
they do. No, they get
but they already got their reward over here. Why are they getting?
Okay. I see. So okay, exactly. So it's the most famous question that all of the Balchuva ask. So what is the question? So how come, right? So how come? It's very simple. So I did the tshuva. So Rabbi, you told me to do the tshuva, and everything is going to work, right? So okay, one second. Okay, so and suddenly everything is going bad. So he had a beautiful job. You understand? He was supporting this person, that person. Suddenly he did tshuva. He became shomashal. Whoa! He lost his job. He loses everything. The wives hates him. Like all of the troubles, all of the financial issue, all of the health issue. And many people, for many people, if they don't have a proper ashkafa, if they don't, well, you ask this question. It's a proper question to ask, but people don't ask questions. They say, this religion, because before I was this, and as they call me Rasha, I was doing fine. Now I'm about tshuva. I have all the suffering, all of the surgery, all of the losing money. So why it's happening? Because HaShem accepted your tshuva. So now he has to take back whatever he paid you before. So one time this guy put on tzitzis, right? So HaShem gave him, I don't know, $100,000 in his job that he hardly had to show up, right? You understand? So he has to clean up this $100,000. That's it. So basically, this cleaning up, these troubles is the best thing that happening for him, because HaShem is going to pay him a huge reward in the next life. So he undo whatever he did before. You understand? That's positive. But you need the right person to ask this. And I of course, all of us know these cases when person got upset and things did not go the way he planned, and he basically threw out everything. Okay, that's the answer.
I had a question about the Asher Yatzar that he said. Isn't there a maximum limit of 72 minutes?
No.
That is just for Birkat Hamazon.
No, it's not okay. It's for Birkat Hamazon. It's and even for Birkat Hamazon, for example, if you ate a lot, as Rabbi said, and people ate like his head. I don't know how it's possible. So he ate a lot. So you're not hungry for the next 3 hours. So it's not only 72 minutes. It's you're still full after 3 hours. So you can still say Birkat Hamazon. There's no problem. So we said minimum. So minimum it's 72 minutes, but minimum plus extra.
Okay.
Any other questions? Israel, you're too quiet today.
Yes, if we have time to yet, can I ask something?
Please go ahead, please.
About the water heating system on Shabbos, how we deal with that?
Oh, that's a good question. So he didn't say basically
Very good
most
question.
of them are run on a thermostat.
Yes.
So basically there is no problem. It can go on and off. That's we just turn it on before Shabbos and leave it, and that's it. So there is no problem whatsoever. So it's same concept as you like. You turn on the light, it's on the whole Shabbos. There is no problem. You're not doing anything.
Wait, Rabbi.
Okay.
So Parshas Shoftim, I know at least 2 times where they call Kohanim, according to Rashi, they call Kohanim Leviim. Okay, they don't use the term Kohanim.
Okay.
So my one of the rabbis at the Kollel, right? He looked in like 6, 7 mafarshim. He looked everywhere. Ramban, Ibn Ezra, Abarbanel didn't even ask the question. Everybody said, every single one of them said pretty much that it's talking about Kohanim, but nobody explained why they use the term Levim for the Kohanim. So maybe you know.
I mean, they are from the tribe of Levi still, no?
No. I agree with you. But I'm saying, why do they all of a sudden switch and use this term? They don't use this term.
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. No.
Understood.
But it's like simple explanation. There is from the tribe of Levi. They can be called Levi. It's not any like degradation. So if they have to go out under some flag, a flag of what they were doing in the desert, they would be on the flag of Levi. There's no.
I agree with you. It just makes no sense for the Chumash to change.
Of course, there is explanation. I don't know the deeper explanation.
Think about it. Till the 5 books of Moses are completed, till we get to the next stage, or technically even till the death of Aaron, really haven't become separate from the Leviim in that sense, right? Till there's like a distinction really that happens.
So actually, it says over there specifically, it calls them Kohanim sometimes and calls them Leviim sometimes. If it called them Leviim all throughout Parshas Shoftim, then that's different. But since it doesn't, I can't say that.
Okay. So, but Ishai, sorry, you're breaking up. Could you repeat your question? What was the question, or did you just say?
No. I just made a point that it could be because don't you think that till the end of the 5 books of Moshe till Kohanim, isn't the Levim and the Kohanim not that distinct from each other, right?
I mean, even though they distinct, but I mean it's still from the same family. It's still the same tribe. So even though they're distinct, so even the people in the different tribes, they have they belong to different clans and stuff like that. So, but it's still the same tribe. So okay. Any other question, Ethan? Too quiet also.
Maybe I have a thing, maybe I just thought about it. The fact that the Kohanim at that point are being called the Levim is because that time is the affiliation with their tribe. And when the Kohanim are being called Kohanim, probably is because it has to do with their duty of being special.
Okay.
So actually, over here specifically, when it says Levim, it's talking about exactly when they're doing their job. So
Okay.
it's even more.
Then you know there has to be some. It's a very good question, but yeah, we'll have to see what the you say about it.
All right, no problem. All right, thank you very much. Any other questions, or we stop here? Tell me. Okay, so let's.
Thank you so
stop.
much.
So I want to wish you good night. So on Sunday next time, B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to meet on Sunday. So 4 p.m. So right, well, what works for everybody? Or you want to later? So you tell me, guys.
4 p.m.
B'ezrat Hashem.
B'ezrat Hashem. Okay, 4 p.m.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Enjoy, and until next time, B'ezrat Hashem. Thank you.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל מה שיפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכו לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הרדיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה.
איפה הוא גר?
בפלורידה.
פלורידה, איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית.
חזק אותו בשמי.
קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעבירו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה. אני